Welcome back to BrewFix, where coffee meets craftsmanship. In modern espresso culture, extraction yield has become a badge of honor. Numbers, percentages, targets, 18%, 20%, 22%. The assumption is simple. If extraction yield is higher and more precise, espresso must taste better. But according to coffee science and what technicians and tasters observe every day, chasing extraction yield often ruins flavor. Today, we're breaking down why extraction yield is misunderstood, why it's a poor target for flavor, and how focusing on it can quietly push espresso past its best point. What extraction yield actually measures? Extraction yield measures how much material from the coffee grounds ends up dissolved in the cup. It is a quantitative metric, not a sensory one. The problem is that extraction yield does not distinguish between good compounds and bad ones. Acids, sugars, aromatics, bitter phenols, and astringent compounds all count equally toward the final number. The science is clear: a higher extraction yield does not mean better flavor. It simply means more stuff was extracted. Flavor peaks before extraction yield does. Coffee extraction follows a curve. Early in extraction, desirable acids and aromatics dominate. Mid-extraction brings sweetness, body, and balance. Late extraction introduces bitterness, dryness, and harshness. The critical insight from the book is that flavor peaks before total extraction is complete. Chasing higher yield pushes extraction into zones where negative compounds accumulate faster than positive ones. Why yield encourages over-extraction? When people chase extraction yield, they tend to grind finer, extend shot time, increase water contact, or push ratios. All of these tactics increase yield, but they also accelerate late-stage extraction. This is why espresso dialed for high yield often tastes hollow, bitter, or drying even when numbers look correct. Yield ignores uneven extraction. Extraction yield is an average. It hides what's happening locally inside the puck. Some particles may be over-extracted while others are under-extracted, yet the final yield still looks ideal. From a BrewFix diagnostic standpoint, many unpleasant shots measure perfectly on paper because yield cannot see imbalance. Why espresso suffers more than filter coffee? Yield targets originated in filter coffee research, where extraction is slower and more forgiving. Espresso is fast, pressurized, and unstable. Small changes push extraction quickly into negative territory. Applying filter-style yield thinking to espresso ignores the physics of high-pressure extraction and magnifies defects. The psychological trap of numbers. Numbers feel safe. They promise control and objectivity. But espresso flavor is sensory, contextual, and nonlinear. When yield becomes the goal, taste becomes secondary. According to sensory science, focusing on numeric targets often reduces a taster's sensitivity to actual flavor quality. Why lower yield can taste better? Many exceptional espressos live at lower extraction yields because they preserve clarity and sweetness. The science supports this. Avoiding late-stage compounds often produces cleaner cups, even if less total material is extracted. Less can be more chemically and sensorially. What professionals actually optimize? Instead, professionals do not optimize yield. They optimize balance, mouthfeel, and finish. They stop shots when flavor peaks, not when numbers look good. Yield becomes a reference, not a target. This approach produces espresso that is repeatable and enjoyable. Extraction yield is a useful measurement, but a terrible goal. When you chase numbers, flavor pays the price. Once you understand where flavor peaks and why yield keeps climbing past that point, espresso becomes easier to dial and far more enjoyable. At BrewFix, we teach espresso as it actually tastes, not how it looks on paper. BrewFix, keeping your coffee machines running and your mornings caffeinated.